guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today I'm going to talk about the Doctor Who collection sets I think we'll be getting for 2023 for Doctor Who's 60th anniversary. And we're going to have some fun with it. I'm going to predict 4 of them. Now, we've never gotten 4 in a year. Probably won't happen, but since we're only getting 2 in 2022, I feel like they owe us one. I mean, I'm sure one of the reasons we're only getting 2 is because of stuff going on in the world. I think the sets are actually manufactured in Poland, so the Ukraine stuff could be affecting that and could continue to do so. But let's have fun with it. The 60th anniversary, these are the seasons I think we would probably get next year. I'm going to start off with season 20. If there's one season I am certain of for next year, it's season 20. Now, Janet Fielding has tweeted out recently that her and TARDIS Team 5 are in Amsterdam right now, more than likely doing that long-awaited Amsterdam filming for Arc of Infinity, be it a making of or a location. We know they've wanted to do an Amsterdam shoot for a while for season 20, but that got delayed because of COVID, because season 20 was originally, we're pretty sure, supposed to have come out earlier. Rumors were swirling about it in 2018 or 2019. You know, so we're all pretty sure it was supposed to come out earlier in the timeline, because it has been a long while since we got a Davison season. But with the Amsterdam shooting pushed back, and the fact that Mark Strickson, who is, of course, plays Turlo and is a huge part of season 20 and 21, lives in New Zealand, which was on like super ooper duper lockdown, you know, nobody in, nobody out. They couldn't get him, so they delayed season 20. So I think we're going to get that, since we know they're actively working on it. And to be honest, they probably had a lot of it done, because I'm pretty sure they were actively doing stuff for it before COVID hit. So I'm pretty sure a lot of that's in the bag already. Plus, next year will be its 40th anniversary, and it makes sense to release the 20th anniversary season, you know, for the show's 60th anniversary, because it's also that season's 40th anniversary. It just makes sense to release that season, especially when we know they're actively working on it. And I think we're all ready for another excuse me, Davison season at this point. I know I am. And I've seen most of season 20. I think there's only 1 or 2 episodes. 2 episodes I think I haven't seen. I haven't seen Snake Dance, which, to be honest, I hate Kenda. To my bones, I hate Kenda. And I hear it's the better of the 2, so I probably won't like Snake Dance, but I'll watch it and give it a shot. And then King's Demons, which I might like because I tend to like medieval stuff, but I might not because I tend to hate Chameleon. So we'll see. I don't know quite which one they do updated effects for. Arc of Infinity, which is an underrated story, already has updated effects. And then, of course, the Black Guardian trilogy is this season. All 3 of those stories already have updated effects. I figure Enlightenment will have 2 discs, one with the regular version, one with the special edition. Love the special edition of Enlightenment. One of the best stories in Davison's run, in my opinion. And a great performance by Janet Fielding. And then, of course, the 5 Doctors, which I'm sure will look gorgeous, because I believe all of the film elements survive from 5 Doctors, all the location work. So that's going to look really good in HD. And that's the one I actually want to get, the updated effects. I know it got them before in the mid-90s, but those are a little dated now. And I'm not too keen on the little Mr. Whippy effect for the time scoop. I don't outright hate it like some fans do. Like, some people really don't like it. I'm not like that. It's fine. I just prefer the original effect. I'd much prefer just a new effect that looks better than both of the others, while still fitting in Classic Who. So yeah, I'd really like that, because I can never decide which version of 5 Doctors I like better, the original release or the updated effects, because some things I like better about one, some things I like better about the other. So I'd much rather get a definitive version that could be my favorite version. So I hope they do new updated effects for the 5 Doctors, since that's such an important story. So yeah, season 20. I also think that we'll probably get another Pertwee. We'll really do another Pertwee at this point. By next year, you know, it'll be 2 years since season 8 came out. I think season 8 came out in like February or so of 2021. So it'll have been 2 years. I think we're due another one. The popular theory is, of course, season 9. We know they've been working on season 9. It's been talked about, season 9. However, I haven't heard anything new on Season 9 in a while. And this is the chance for them to throw us a curveball here and actually trick us. Now, I don't think it'd be Season 7, because Season 7 needs a lot of work. Though, to be fair, I didn't expect to get Season 8 when we did. But I think we only got that so early because it was the Masters' 50th anniversary. But Seasons 7 and 8, of course, are the Pertwee seasons that are most affected by episode junking. All the episodes exist, but most of the episodes from Seasons 7 and 8 don't exist in their original master tape format. They exist from other sources. That's why some episodes don't look as good from those seasons. Like Season 8, of its 25 episodes, only 3 are the original master tapes. 2 episodes of Claws of Axos, my least favorite Pertwee story, and Episode 4 of the Daemons, the most overrated Pertwee story. And if you compare like Episode 4 of the Daemons with the rest of the Daemons, you can see the difference in the quality of color. It's very apparent. Same thing with Season 7. Of course, Spearhead looks good because all of the film elements still exist. I mean, it was all shot on film and all of that still exists. But Silurians and Ambassadors of Death look rough. Now, Inferno looks better because they did do that special edition of it where they really tightened it up a bit. Although, I don't own the special edition. I own the original release of Inferno. Special edition's on the wish list, though. But I don't think it would be Season 7. I think they might wait and do Season 7 maybe in 2025 because that would be Season 7's 45th anniversary. So I would expect it would either be Season 9 or 11. Now, Season 11 is only missing one story, but it's the story. The story that's hard to do. It is, of course, Invasion of the Dinosaurs Episode 1, which has been the most problematic Pertwee story of them all because it only exists in black and white. There's no color copies to source the color from. No, NTSC tapes from Canada or America. So, for Episode 1, it's just a black and white copy. So they tried to use the chromia dot recovery method, but only the red dot and the green dot were there. The blue dot wasn't there, so they tried to approximate it, and it doesn't work well. They have a color version on the DVD. It looks really rough. It's not even the default setting. The black and white is the default setting. The color one's an extra. So they've really got to tighten that up. Whereas Season 9 is kind of the half and half. It's kind of the Season 5 of the Pertwee era, where it's not banged up like Season 4 of Troughton's run, and it's not almost complete like Season 6 of Troughton's run. It's right there in the middle, which is what Season 5 was for Troughton. It was almost half and half, 22 out of 40. Pertwee's is almost like that. I think Season 9 has 26 episodes, and if I remember correctly, I think 11 of them are the original Masters, and 15 of them are not, because all of Day of the Daleks are the original Masters. None of Curse of Peladon are. Sea Devils is half and half. The first 3 episodes are not the original Masters. I think they're reversed conversion standard copies. And the last 3 episodes are the original Masters. And the Mutants, the first 2 episodes, I think, are reverse converted. And the last 4 episodes are the Masters. And then none of Time Monster is the Masters. Although the last episode of Time Monster is a higher quality because I think they had a black and white print of it to source from to combine with the Americanized copy. And so episode 6 of Time Monster looks better than the other 5. So basically 11 of the episodes in Season 9 just need the standard Blu-ray tweaking, whereas the other 15 are going to need some work. Since they're not the original Masters, they're going to need more work. And I think which one they release next is all going to come down to the progress they're making on Invasion of the Dinosaurs Part 1. If they're struggling to colorize it, they'll go ahead and release Season 9 if they've been making efforts on that. If the colorization of Episode 1 of Invasion of the Dinosaurs is going along well, then that could be the curveball they throw us, and they could give us Season 11. Although they may wait till 2024, because that'll be Season 11's, 50th anniversary? 50th anniversary, that's right. Yeah, 2025 would be Season 7's 55th anniversary, not 45th, 55th anniversary. So they might get Season 7 in 2025 because it would be its 55th anniversary. Or we might get Season 11 in 2024 because that would be its 50th anniversary. But if they wanted to throw us a curveball anywhere in that and give us a Pertwee season, I think it would be 11 over 9. Everybody is expecting 9, and we're due a Pertwee season. Now, if we get another 60 season, I think a lot of people would be expecting season 1 just because 60th anniversary season 1, but I don't think they'd give us 2 Hartnells in a row. I figured they'd want to get a Troughton out there because after season 2 releases, Troughton will be the only classic Doctor to not have a season out. Plus, I don't know how many telesnaps there are of Marco Polo. I don't know if I don't think it has any surviving footage, but I don't know if there's a lot of telesnaps. I know there's some behind-the-scenes telesnaps. I've seen the 30-minute cut-down construction of, or the 30-minute cut-down of Marco Polo, but I've never watched just the recon of all 7 episodes. So I don't know how good the telesnaps are. I hear that's problematic. And really, that's the only trouble because the missing episodes of Reign of Terror have been animated. So Marco Polo, though, that's a big deal. It's probably not going to get animated anytime soon. But I don't know how people would react to having to deal with a 7-parter that's completely a recon with possibly not a lot of telesnaps. I'm not sure on that. So I don't think they'd give us another Hartnell. I think we get a Troughton. And if I was a betting man, I used to not be sure between seasons 5 and 6, but I've discovered recently that Space Pirates doesn't have a lot of telesnaps. I don't think it has any telesnaps, but not many, because the guy who did the telesnaps back then, John Cura, is that how you pronounce his name? Cura, I think it was C-U-R-A, the guy who's famous for doing the telesnaps for the 60 stories. I did not know he died during the broadcast of The Mine Robber. I wasn't aware of that. I just know his telesnaps are famous for reconstructions. But apparently he passed away while The Mine Robber was broadcasting, which of course was before Space Pirates. So by the time Space Pirates aired, he had passed. And so no telesnaps. So I think they'd have a hard time doing a recon of Space Pirates. I mean, there may be a recon of Space Pirates. I've never watched it. But I could see that causing a problem with them releasing Season 6. And I think it's better to go with Season 5 anyway. Season 5 seems to be Troughton's best regarded season. It's my least favorite of his personally. But it seems to be, in general, by the fandom, his best regarded season. And it's about half complete and half missing. You have 22 out of 40 episodes, so slightly over half complete. And of the 7 serials in it, I think 7, 2 of them are complete with footage, and then all of the others are complete via animation or a combination of live-action animation, except for one. There's only one that is not complete in some form or another, which is Wheel in Space. We'll talk about that. So, you have 22 episodes of 40 that survive. You have another, that leaves 18 missing. 14 of those 18 have been animated. So that only leaves 4 episodes from one story, The Wheel in Space, that you would have to do reconstructions for. And the stories, we have Tomb of the Cybermen would be complete. You'd have The Abominable Snowmen, of course, which has episode 2 surviving, and then the rest is completed by animation. And if they released season 5 towards the end of 2023, say November or December, that would mean Abominable Snowmen would have been out over a year. The individual Blu-ray that's coming out in a couple weeks, it'll have made its money by then. It would have recouped whatever it's going to recoup at that point. So I think, 13 or 14, 15 months after its release, you could go ahead and put out the season 5 box set. We would have Web of Fear complete, because Web of Fear is only missing episode 3, which has been animated. You would have Fury from the Deep, of course, which is completely animated. And then you would have, what else is that season? Enemy of the World, which is complete. And then, of course, Ice Warriors, which is, 4 of its 6 episodes survived, but the other 2 have been animated. I'm assuming its animation would upscale to Blu-ray all right. I don't know what resolution it was done in. I don't know if they would have to tweak some of the older animations like Ice Warriors animations, or if it'll be just fine for Blu-ray. I don't know what they have to do for that. So really, all they would have to do is recon The Wheel in Space, which, to be fair, I hear The Wheel in Space is the kind of weakest 60s Cyberman story anyway, which means it's probably better than most of the modern Cyberman stories. And I know it's Zoe's first story, but the good thing is that a third of it survives. 2 of the 6 episodes do survive. And one of them is episode 3, so you have a nice little surviving episode halfway through the story. And the key point for me is the final episode survives. I've talked before about what a big deal it is for me to have the final episode intact, because that doesn't happen very often. Something about having that final episode means a lot to me. Not having the final episode irks me. It's a problem I have with 10th Planet. It just bugs me that I have episodes 1, 2, and 3, but not 4. Drives me nuts. So I would actually be able to watch the final episode of it. And I could handle recon, surviving episode, recon, surviving episode to wrap it up. I think I could live with that. Now, I know there is a recon on BritBox of Wheel in Space. I don't know if it's any good or not. I've never seen it. I'm sure you guys could tell me. I don't know if they would just use that one or if they would do a brand new one for the set. Probably a brand new one, I suspect. But I think they would do a good one. The guy who does them now, I think it's the guy who used to do the loose cannon one, so I think he's the guy who does them now. So yeah, I think if we got a Troughton season, it would be season 5. That makes the most sense. You could go ahead and start getting people used to animations being in the collection set. You would have, again, over half of the season live action surviving footage, 22 surviving, 14 animated, and only 1 story with 4 episodes as a reconstruction. And it wouldn't be as many episodes that they would have to remaster for Blu-ray. Since it's only 22 episodes, you only have to remaster those 22 episodes for Blu-ray. So that's less than, say, Season 2, where they had to do 37. You only have to do 22. With Season 1, you'd have to do 33, I believe. I think it's 33. So Season 5 makes the most sense for Troughton, especially since that seems to be the Troughton season. So go ahead and get it out. That makes more sense, especially with Space Pirates in such rough shape. And then the final one I want to talk about is it's got to be a Tom Baker season. You can't have the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who without a Tom Baker season, especially since we're not getting one this year. If they don't do a Tom Baker season in 2023, that'll be 2 years in a row without a Tom Baker season. And I don't think they would do that. And I think, considering Tom Baker's popularity, because to a lot of people, Tom Baker is the Doctor. When you see "the" in all capital letters, the Doctor, we're talking about Tom Baker. I mean, to me, he is just the gold standard to which all other Doctors are measured. When I think of Doctor Who, unless I'm thinking of a specific episode or era, if I'm just thinking about Doctor Who, he's the first one that pops in my head. When I think of the Doctor, he's the default image that pops in my head. He's my Doctor. So you have to have a Tom Baker season in 2023. It would just be bonkers not to do that. Now, I don't think they'll do season 13, because season 13 is going to sell like hotcakes. It will. If there's one season left that I think will sell out the way these things used to sell out, it's season 13. That is the season. But I suspect that will probably be the final Tom season released. They started with 12, and they'll probably end his run with 13. That makes sense to me. It makes way more sense for them to do another Williams season and not leave both of those for last. Personally, between the two, I would personally prefer 15, because I have the DVD set of 16, and I only own like 1 story from 15, Sunmakers, and I'd love a chance to see the others. Plus, the only Tom Baker story I haven't seen is from season 15, which of course is The Invisible Enemy. Plus, I'd love a chance to watch the updated effects for Invasion of Time, because I've only seen the original version. And I would love to watch Underworld again, because I've only watched it once, and I actually enjoyed the story to it. And plus, Horror Fang Rock is amazing. I mean, Ham will tell you, Horror Fang Rock is just one of the best Doctor Who stories ever. It's phenomenal. Doctor Who horror done right. It feels like it slot right in with season 13 and fit perfectly. So I would prefer season 15. However, if they want to put out his weakest season and have the 60th anniversary hype bolster it, which I don't really think it needs that, because I think any Tom Baker season is going to sell like hotcakes because it's a Tom Baker season. The fact it's a Tom Baker season, it's going to sell. I'm sure season 17 still sold well because it's a Tom Baker season. Personally, I love season 17, but I know some people don't. Now, if that's the case and they want to try to maximize that 60th anniversary celebration for sales, I'd say do 16, because I think 16 is Tom's weakest season, not only remaining to be released, but just overall. I don't think it has necessarily a bona fide classic in it Although I think Pirate Planet and Rybos come close. I love Pirate Planet and Rybos. But it also has the Squid one, which y'all know I don't like. It's the only Tom Baker story I find unwatchable. Stones of Blood, things I like about it, things I don't. Androids of Tara, depends on my mood. Sometimes I've loved it on one watch through and didn't care for it on another. And then you have, of course, Armageddon Factor, which I do think is underrated. It's probably his most underrated season finale. It has flaws, but it also does things I like. That's kind of how it's kind of like Asylum of the Dalek. It's flawed, but it does some things I like, and it's a lot of fun to watch. So I think if I was the one planning it, I would do season 16 because it has the whole Key to Time theme on it. Like, I actually wonder if they'll say that on the back. You know, it'll have, like, the Key to Time somewhere on the packaging. Like, maybe season 16, the Key to Time. Maybe not on the front, but on the back. I think you go ahead and you go with that seasonal arc and go ahead and get season 16 out. Personally, I prefer 15, but I think if you want to get everybody on the hype train, even though I still think a Tom Baker season will sell itself, I say go ahead and do 16. Yeah, that makes sense to me. So 15 or 16, I would prefer 15. I think it would make more sense to do 16, if that makes sense. So those are the 4 I expect. 20, season 20, season 9 or 11, depending on if they want to throw a curveball or not, but probably 9. Season 5 for Troughton, and then either 15 or 16. I would prefer 15, but I think it would make more sense if they did 16, but hopefully 15. Those are my thoughts. I want to know what you think. Hopefully we do get 4. We'll probably only get 3, but I hope we get 4. So let me know what you think of these choices and which ones you think if we could get 4 or 3. So comment down below and let me know, because I always enjoy hearing from you guys. Other things to do, click the like button and the subscribe button and the bell for notifications so you never miss out on another video. I also have a Patreon. If you like what I do and would like to contribute to what I do, there's a link to that down in the description below. I want to give a shout out to 2 of my top tier patrons, Stephen Crane and the 5th Doctor. I certainly appreciate their continued support, just as I do the support of all of my patrons. I appreciate every single one of you. I also have a P.O. Box if there's anything you would like to send me, as well as a Amazon wish list. A link to that is down in the description as well. Most importantly, though, thank you for watching.